Привет, народ! Продолжаем игру Demons of the Past. И я вроде как нашел, чем занять вот этого вот Владика.
Shaikan! Good!
Vlad!
I have...
I'm on.
So, now it's time to honor this bond and find some
There's a war game going on. It's called...
war game, huh?
I fought against them, and they were good enough. They'll give you a decent fight.
Good! Good! That sounds just right. Where can I find this place?
Just follow the sound of fighting, and you'll be there soon enough.
Ну, наконец-то. Все. Теперь можно проходить основной квест. В общем, народ, я так посмотрел. Вот эта вот баба, она магии 50 на 50 у нее магия. Вот эта баба чисто в стихийку идет и в легкие там посохи потом. Остальные, вот это вот как боец идет тоже. Остальные я даже, думаю, смотреть не хочу, потому что мне и так три мужика, хочу одну бабу. Это стихийница, это воительница, это лечилка. Я лечилку хочу. Вот, поэтому как бы так, да. Хочу лечилку. Хотя, с другой стороны, лук может быть. Или нет, или да. Нет, хочу лечилку, все. Вот эту бабу хочу. Шан Муир.
I could use a good healer, Shan, and someone as wise as you to keep my head straight. The Citadel!
You sound excited.
I've wanted to visit this place ever since the Soul Power told me about all the knowledge stored here.
Well, knowledge isn't what I remember from the last time I was here.
I spoke with the Shaper Conqueress too, Kane, and she told me that apart from 3 very strange undead, this place held many wonders. Strange? Nightsong said that the Norcane wanted to build a base here, as they'd found something very interesting.
Then let's look for them. I've got a bad feeling about this. Something very interesting. She didn't tell you more?
No, and I didn't ask. You know your daughter.
Ну вот как бы это обязаловка с магией должна быть. И вот здесь у нее 2. У той бабы стихийка была одна, вот эта вот сделана. И вот это вот 2 штуки. Вот, остальных я как бы не смотрел. Мне неинтересно они были. Сейчас я ее экипирую. Да, нужен этот самый торговец. Ладно, эти у меня вроде все сделано. А, это еще бабе надо. думаю, на этом все. Погнали. Немножко раздражаешь, что по одним и тем же картам приходится бегать.
Yes. Good. Yes. Good. Yes. Yes. Good. 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 Yes. Yes. Good. Good. Yes. 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 Good.
Блестяшка. Видать, где-то пригодится.
Yes. Good. Yes. Yes. Good. Yes. Good. 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 Yes. Yes. Good. Yes. Good. Yes. 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 Good. Yes. Good. Good. Yes. Yes. Good. 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 Yes. Good. Good. Yes. 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 Good. Yes. 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 Yes.
Ура! Боже, когда мне будет 13 левел.
Good.
Посмотрим.
Good. Good. Yes. Good. Look, a lever. I wonder what it will do. Yes.
For no! Stand down, Dracon!
A Dracon? How is that possible? Craig?
When darkness is deepest.
The Silver Weaver will guide your way.
Craig.
When Sorvina forged that abominable pact with the Shadows, a civil war broke out within the Norcane. As the one who carried the seal of the Norcane, I led my fellow Dracon against Sorvina's army of Archon and Sinistrim.
Yes, I remember.
I burdened my daughter with the seal, and she prevailed with the help of the Soul Carrier. But the Dracon caste was gone, rooted out by Sorvina's ruthless schemes.
No, not all Dracon were dead, my lord.
But I don't remember teaching you, and I taught all new Dracon. And yet, you know our greeting.
I was born Sinistrim, my lord.
Sinistrim?
Yes, I was one of the best sword fighters still alive after the great battles of Shar. The Archon and Sinistrim only reluctantly succumbed to Nightsong's rule. Your daughter knew that. Even with the protection of the Shadow Warrior, she needed Norcane she could trust.
And so she set out to rebuild the Dracon caste. But how?
I really would like to hear about that, but I think we have more pressing matters at hand. Why did you attack us?
We thought you were the Naldramar.
What in Aeonia's name is the Naldramar?
This is ridiculous. It's an ancient legend among the Norcane.
When Norse still roamed the lands of Io to scatter the earth with silver as pure as the moon itself, he one day came by a woman called Annie Hugh. She was a shaper, and her hair flowed like pure silver along her back. Nor was stricken with love for this shaper woman. It was to her that he showed the deepest secrets of moon silver.
It is said that Annie Hugh wrote down all of those secrets, and that her notes would take the art of moonsilver crafting to unknown heights.
But Annie Hugh was killed in a freak explosion, and her notes were lost. The legends differ in that respect. All that remained of her was a lock of her pure silver hair. It is said that North rage knew no limits, and so, from the lock of her hair, he created a most hideous monster. Strong like 10 titans, and nearly invulnerable to physical attacks, because he was protected by moon silver armor wrought by Nor himself.
The Naldramar?
Yes, Shaikan, that is the Naldramar. Legend tells that it wreaked havoc in the city of the Shapers, until Nor finally withdrew his creature on behalf of his fellow guardians.
You were searching for Annie Hugh's notes. That's what you were looking for in these ruins.
Indeed. When we finally laid hands on the notes, buried deep within the library of the Shapers, the Sinistrim archaeologist immediately wanted to open it. But told him not to, as we first had to make sure we could take on the Naldramar.
That, you thought that the Naldramar would rise again as soon as the notes were open.
I don't like your tone, Demon Hunter. But yes, that's what I and many others believed.
What happened?
That's Sinistrim. She called me a coward and said I wasn't worthy of protecting this expedition.
I see the bloodlust in your eyes. You killed her for that, didn't you?
I would have, and I still want to. But within seconds a great battle ensued, where everyone was fighting each other. Sinistrim against Dracon, Archon against Sinistrim, even Archon against Archon. We Dracon tried to prevent everyone from killing each other, but we were soon overpowered by the mob.
That's why you were imprisoned here.
Unfortunately, yes. But we are Drakon. We won't give up, even against all odds.
That's the spirit.
Ух, ёпт.
I'd really like to know how Nightsong recreated the Drakon cast.
A formidable story, Shaikan. Nightsong knew she was the only remaining Drakon. Within our caste system, there are 3 ways to switch castes. First, a woman marries a man from another caste and thus becomes part of their caste too. Second, a member of the caste is defeated in a duel and lives, thus becoming a member of the winner's caste. And third, the High Archon, or the High Sinistrum, chooses you to become a member of their caste.
Yes, well, I suppose numbers 1 and 3 were out of the question.
Your guess is right, Shaikan.
So she chose the duel. Seems an extremely long way to refound the Drakon cast. And artists, too.
You overestimate our Empress, Shaikan.
I've long since learned not to underestimate Nightsong. So what did she do?
She challenged the champion of the Archons, Kaltamar, to a duel.
Kaltamar? Kaltamar? I think I've heard that name before. Isn't he one of the best swordsmen of your race?
Indeed he is. You are well informed.
What chance could she possibly have against Kaltamar? I know her to be a good fighter, but surely she's no match for him.
That's what Kaltamar thought too. So he offered her the choice of weapons.
Oh, that's honourable.
Nightsong chose the duel to be a singing duel.
A singing duel?
Kaltamar had no choice but to meet her in this battle, where he was sure to lose, as his tongue was hardly as flexible as his sword. The High Archon was furious and challenged the validity of the duel.
Nightsong was prepared for that.
Of course, she could quote several ancient texts where there had been singing duels, with caste change afterwards. The Archon and Sinistrum leaders hated her for that, but the people loved her for her cunning and wisdom.
But she couldn't do it a second time.
Using the same ploy twice would be foolish. Kaltamar challenged other champions from the Archons and Sinistrum, and defeated them all in sword battle. One by one, the best swordsmen, the strongest knights, and the darkest sorceresses became Drakon, and we were once again a proud caste, equal to the Archon
No,
and
Normcho.
Sinistrum.
Thank you, Drakon.
Shaikan!
You and I, we share a common interest. Why not form an alliance?
An alliance? What common interest would we have, Shaikan?
You want those notes?
Agreed. But an alliance...
Couldn't Craig order you to form an alliance?
He might have, when he was still the leader of the Drakon.
Don't say anything that might make him or me angry.
Very well, Shaikan. Shaikan!
Is there anything else?
I could tell you something about our enemies. About some strange levers we found. Or of a way you could help us become stronger.
Information about enemies is always useful.
Would you rather know something about the Sinistrum, the Archon?
Demons?
Yes, demons. I felt their presence when we were dragged from the battlefield to this place here.
I'd like to.
The Sinistrum aren't big fighters. They are sorcerers, mages, necro...
Interesting how you talk about your former caste.
We're born within a caste. That doesn't mean we like them.
Some information about...
The Archons imbibe sorcery from their infancy. It can be good fun.
You said something about Archons fighting Archons?
Yes. They seem to be split into 2 factions, and they're the biggest caste here.
Tell me about the...
When we left the battlefield, I sensed the strong presence of demons. I guess your friend the Demon Hunter will be able to tell you more. Demons love birds, and they'll surely savor every moment of the split.
Then why do you still want to attack the Sinistrim?
Because those notes are more important than a few demons.
And if the Nal Dromar is among them?
Then nor help us.
What levers are you...
Within the city we found several levers. They seem to operate some gates which are otherwise hidden within the walls of this city.
This could come in handy for sneak attacks.
You're starting to get the picture. Shaikan!
During your time here,
I'm sorry, Shaikan, but I've not really studied the books here.
and you didn't overhear the Sinistra or any other archaeologist?
Only bits and pieces here and there, Shaikan. I've heard them speak.
Thank you all the same.
Shaikan!
What will you do now?
I will start sending troops against those Sinistrim.
If we formed an alliance, we could be more...
No, Shaikan. An alliance is out of the question for us.
I'm all ears.
The Archons hate the Sinistrim almost as much as we do. Maybe you could convince their leaders into helping us destroy these fools before they destroy us.
Diplomatic mission then. Wonderful.
I should warn you, there's one thing the Archon hate more than the Sinistrim.
And that would be...
The Drake.
Так, какая-то хрень произошла. Продолжение.
Shaikan! I hope our campaign is doing well against the Sinistrim.
Of course.
Так, ну теперь все понятно.
Yes. 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 Good. Yes. 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 Good. Yes. 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 Good. Good. Yes. Good. Good.
Ничего это за хрень.
Good. Good. Good.
Тот рычаг открывает эти двери, а этот рычаг открывает те двери, что ли? Так?
Good. Good.
Здесь тяжко.
Yes.
Странненько.
Yes.
Ну да хрен с ними. Пойдем по центральному проходу.
Good. Yes, good. Yes. Good. Forward. Good.
Ну, это типа они уже в
Yes.
атаку пошли.
Yes. Good. Yes. 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 Good. Yes. Yes. Good. 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 Yes. 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 Yes.
Ой, эта хрень пойми
Good.
куда ведет. Поэтому
Yes.
пока здесь просто обойду и сейчас с ней поговорю. Но я вниз пойду.
Yes. Yes. Good. Yes.
No, help us. A dragon bl-
I'm always happy to find a friendly face in unfriendly circles.
I will have your tongue ripped out of your mouth.
For that, you'd first have to return there. Let's see. How might you get there? Oh dear, it's the city ship that brought you here, and will bring you home again. I'm not sure my people will
Well, I think this is all a big misunderstanding. I welcome thee to our camp, Shaikan. What can a Sinistrim do to help you?
Do you know about the demons?
Demons?
The ones I just fought off before reaching your camp?
I doubt they'll be much of a threat if you were able to defeat Shaikan.
I'm searching for information. Is there anything you might be able to tell us about this place?
I am a well of information. Would you like to know something about our enemies? About some strange weevils we found? Or about how you could help us become stronger?
Information about...
Would you rather know something about Archon Lyriel, Archon Dormat, or that traitor?
I'd like to know something...
Archon Lyriel is as ambitious as a Norcane can be. She has worked herself up within the ranks of the Archon, faster than I'm sure she'd do anything to further her ambitions.
I might know someone just like her. Some information about Archon...
Archon Dorman is a treacherous coward. He kidnapped my assistant while everyone was fighting, and will surely try to use the notes to his advantage.
Tell me about the...
Now he calls himself a Dracon, and is proud of his new brotherhood with the Empress. But when I'm Empress, he will be careful with him, Shaikan. You can't trust him.
What levers are you...
Within this city we found several levers. They seemed to operate some gates, which are otherwise...
This could come in handy for sneak attacks.
You're stuck. Shaikan.
During your time here...
Ah, yes. The warlord from the element...
The warlord from the Elemental Sea.
That's what the Shapers used to call him. His real name in the Shaper tongue is Zalutic Zutan, but they reduced it to Zazut. He must have been very powerful. They couldn't defeat him and his abominable creatures, so they asked their friend, the guardian god Ulam, for help.
I did recall hearing of a guardian god called Ulam. Who is he?
You're just too barbarian to know, Dragonblood. Ulam was the guardian god of creation before he rebelled against his father, Aenir, and his fellow guardians, and became the one who drinks the blood of the world.
You mean...
Yes, Shaikan. Zarak once was called Ulam and was peaceful and friendly with life. Whatever changed him, I don't know, but we're grateful for it.
Thank you, Sinistra. This has been surprising.
Shaikan,
I'd like to form an alliance.
an alliance.
Come, Sinistra. Let's drop the pretensions. You don't like me, and I don't like you. But we could be useful to one another, and that's why I
I should have ripped your tongue out when I had the chance, Shaikan. There will be no alliance between us, no matter how much you... Shaikan,
The question is...
I intend to eradicate the Archon camp. Then I will burn. Finally, I will take what's mine, I mean ours, and if you want to be of any more use than providing transportation to the new Empress of the Norcane, you might ask those two idiots who lead the other camps to join me in my triumph, or be swept away by the wrath of the Sinistrim.
I have to consider my options, Sinistra. I'll be back. Yes. 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 Yes.
Ну, пока что на этом все.
Good.
В следующей серии продолжим.